just go this way because, yeah, I think we'll just do that. Let's see here, get everybody here. All right, so oh, here's more people. Just admit, I did a waiting room and I didn't realize that. Just admit all. Perfect. Yay, you guys are popping on. Okay, so Summit, first of all, is this year was a little different, and I'll be honest, like I definitely had some pouty moments because it is just so fun, and Tamika was there so she can vouch for like how incredible Summit is of an event, but it truly just really sets the tone for the next year. And so I would definitely encourage you guys, go back and watch the live streams. The general sessions were all really, really good. And if you're on a time crunch, you can like fast forward through recognition and things like that. But like listening to, in particular, Holly Hillier, she talked about talking about the business very powerfully, and it was really good. And then Ashley Molstad really talked about how it's not sales. And she hit like SC 200 every month kind of a thing, but she really shared kind of her heart behind that. So go back and watch those trainings, and then I'll actually just share my screen here. If you're not in the Beachbody Champions page, you should be. And if you're in there, you can actually go and see kind of the keynote ones. If you go to units, there is a whole Summit unit. I believe it's unit 9 in here. So you can scroll through and see that, oh, Summit 10. Yeah, so the Summit speakers are all there and they are really, really good. And the keynote or the kind of live ones, yeah, Ashley Molstad was so good. So definitely go back when you have some time, you know, prioritize your power hour, prioritize your invites, things like that. But if you really struggle with confidence, like Bonnie Engel nailed it. I know she does, because I know she talks about this. Moira is incredible. These people have really good things and that can help you. And so take advantage of those resources, okay? So I didn't have time today to put together a whole, and I'm really sorry, I have to do my talk out here because my computer will die if I unplug it. So Ben and Caleb are about to leave, and I'll put the keys in front of the TV for a little bit. But I'm sorry if you hear noise. But I didn't do a whole presentation slide today because I just didn't have time, but I'm gonna walk you through exactly what I do after Summit. So I think this will actually be even better because it's more, Amanda and I were just talking before you guys popped on, it's less training and more like implementation. So first of all, so Summit is incredible. And what I always love about it is it totally relights my fire and recaptures kind of that vision of where I want to be going, where our team is headed, the potential in this company, all of those things. Just a moment, please talk to Dad. And if you need, like, there's so many announcements and stuff coming out that we're going to walk through how to process this. But first things first, I would definitely recommend, if you have not yet purchased your Summit ticket for next year, to do that. It was $130 through this last weekend. The price just went up to $150. It'll sit there for a while, but basically the longer you wait, the more expensive it'll get. And so I'll just share my screen with you guys. I think I have it pulled up here somewhere. So Summit, so yeah, if you just type in like coachsummit.com, it's in here. It's going to be in St. Louis. You can write this whole thing off. You can write off your travel. You can write off your hotel room. When I went to my first Summit, I earned my free ticket. I signed up right before Summit my first year, so I didn't go. And so my second year, and I came as a brand new diamond coach. I had never met my coach in person. Well, I'm sorry, just a second. Paisley, you are fine. Sorry, Mom Life here. And I shared a hotel room with my one coach who was working and two girls that I hadn't met in person before. But it was such a great opportunity for me as an introvert to get out of my shell. It was in Nashville. We had so much fun. And I really caught this vision. I went there and I saw, and Tamika can back me up on this because I know she was there, not at that one, but I saw every age, every body type, every personality. I saw these top coaches getting recognized and sitting in these fancy elite and premier seats, and realized, like, quite honestly, there was, not to be rude, but there's nothing special about them, right? Like, they were just like me. And being able to catch that energy is super, super fun. So if you go here, you will be able to book. You'll get an email of when you can book your hotel if you've registered, but the hotels do fill up. So I would recommend, like, once you purchase your Summit ticket, find a way maybe to pair up with a couple girls on our team and share a room together or things like that. It can really make the cost super affordable. My first year, I think I lived off of, I packed some like snack bars, Shakeology, a couple of those like instant oatmeal breakfasts. I went so cheap because we were totally broke, and it's completely doable. Hey Ben, if you want to turn something on TV, that's fine. Ben, okay, sorry guys. So when you go there, you can see the agenda. This has everything listed out. You guys will come in, unless you're getting recognized for Elite or Premier, you'll come in Thursday night is when it all starts, and you'll leave Sunday morning. So everything is in here. And then it has all over, like you'll be kind of bouncing around between the stadium and the convention center and all that. So it's a ton of fun. So I would definitely encourage you to do that. And then the next thing that really I would kind of think about moving your business forward this month while we're talking about things that are coming up is Team Cup. So Team Cup is a chance in August for you to take your behaviors that you're already doing, hitting Success Club, working towards your next goals, and you pair up with 4 other coaches. So it's a team of 5, and your points get accumulated together. So I'll pull up Team Cup. I just always Google like Team Cup Beachbody. There we go. And as you guys hit Success Club, you earn points together. As you rank advance, you earn points. You can register between now and the end of the month. And then in August, you're going to get a point for every Success Club point that you have, 3 points for a rank advancement. So if you go from a coach to an Emerald coach for the first time, or you go to Diamond for the first time, you're going to get points for that. If you have a BOD group, you are going to get points for that, which is really, really cool. And there's a lot of prizes. You're going to get promo codes, which is a totally a reason. And also if your husband is a coach, you can sign them up and get promo codes through them. And then you, if you're on a Team Cup and you hit Success Club, you get an MBF tank for free. If you guys all get Success Club, you get a sweet chair, which maybe you've been needing in your life. I don't know. If you are a top regional team, so being like West, Central, East, things like that, you're going to get AirPods, and they have more. So it's just a really fun opportunity to really push yourselves. And if you have a hard time showing up for someone else, it really helps when you have a team. And so I would encourage you guys, like I did a post in the team page, if you're looking for a team, pop that in there. But that's kind of what's coming up this next month. It's kind of a way to harness that energy. Okay, so that's the announcement. Let's talk about, though, some of the stuff that came out at Summit, because there was so much good stuff, so many fun programs launching, so much information. And sometimes it can feel like, okay, what do I do with all this? Like, where do I go? How do I launch all the things? Like, I can't even get my normal life in. So what am I supposed to do with all of this? So the first thing I would say to do is listen to National Wake Up Call today. It was really, really good on this. But I like to, first of all, kind of start with me, selfishly, and come back to like that centering belief of like, okay, what is my vision for this business? Like, why am I excited to be a coach? Like, and really get re-fired up inside about where I want to head and all of those things. So I kind of just get all the feels for me first. Then what I do, and guys, this is exactly what, I mean, there's nothing fancy in how I run my business, but here's what I would do is I would literally go to my Coach Online office, and I should have signed in beforehand so it wouldn't take forever to load, sorry. But this is what I would do tonight if I were you, or tomorrow. I will go to Coach Breaking News. So you just scroll down here, right? And I will pull up the breaking news. Boom, here we go. And I will wait till this loads so I can show you what I would do. Okay, let's see here. Hold on, news, there we go. This is what I want, this news tab that has it all listed. And my internet's being slow. While I'm waiting for this to load, if you guys want to type in the chat bar, because we're going to probably talk about a lot of things, but if there's anything in particular that you're like processing after Summit, excited about, like have questions on, post it or drop it, because I don't know what's going on with my computer here. Okay, here we go. Anything? You guys good? Just type away. Okay, so here's what I would do is I would go to Coach Breaking News. And honestly, guys, I would make a point to do this every week in your business just because they update stuff in here and it's helpful. So this has all the recap. So if you missed things, Perfect. Okay, so here's what I would do. I'd kind of read through this and be like, okay, okay, pre and postnatal bar blend. That's exciting. I love bar blend, and for me, this is very much in my target market because I work a lot with, I'm a newer mom. I work with a lot of new moms. If you don't work with moms, let this one go. But I'll make a note of this and write down on my little notepad, okay, I need to make sure to talk about in my challenge groups that this is going to be coming in 2 weeks. And on my next weekly customer email, I'll announce this. And anyone who I know who's been talking about, like who maybe is pregnant and reached out with, so I'll just make a note of that, like talk about bar soon. It doesn't mean I need to talk about it in all my stories or make posts about it, although I can, but I need to let my customers know. Next, pumpkin spice is coming back. Cool. I love those flavors. Peppermint mocha is my fave. When is it coming? September 2nd. So what do I do with that information? I table it. I'm going to do nothing with it right now because there's literally nothing I can do. I don't need to be talking about it because it's July. It's coming in September and in November. So that's just going to go away. That's going to go into the vault, okay? It's filed away. I will talk about it someday, but I don't need to worry about that right now. Okay, perfect. 30-day breakaway. I'm not a runner. I hate running. I do Beachbody because I hate running, but this program is incredible. I'm so excited for the way that it's set up. I know a lot of you guys do love running, and honestly, this might make me try it because I just think it's genius how they do it. When is it coming? It is coming in October. Okay, I'm pumped about this. I'm excited about it. I might share the little IGTV from Idalis or Beachbody in my Instagram stories, and I might throw it in my customer newsletter, but that is the extent that I'm going to do anything with it right now because it is July, it is not October. So this gets tabled, okay? I'm excited, I can learn more about it, and when I go through this, I literally click on the FAQs and I will read and educate, and this is how I get ideas for like when I send out customer emails, be like, okay, 30 to 40 minutes, here's what you need. So all the information is in here, but I'm not gonna deal with this right now. Same with 10-week control freak. I love Autumn. She's my favorite trainer. Oh gosh, Shanti too, Annalise. But like, I love Autumn. I'm really excited about 9-week control freak. It is going to be awesome to do in the new year. But guess what, guys? I'm tabling it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'll learn about it, but I'm not going to become overwhelmed by trying to learn all this information right now because it's coming in December. So again, like I did with 30-day breakaway, I might share a little snippet of it in my Instagram story of how excited I am for it, but this is not the program I'm launching right now, okay? So I'm scrolling back down. Summit, we already talked about that. Okay, I wanna get my special price, so I'm gonna buy that. But here is what is coming, okay? MBF, this is our program we are launching now. This is what I can earn income on now. Like here is what I have the opportunity to grow right now. And so this is what I am going to be focusing on, what I can control, okay? So all of these other things that are swirling and things to get excited about, they're there and I'm going to talk about them. But with the little time that I have and the little mental capacity that I have, I need to focus on the here and now as a business owner. And we can plan all those other things, and we will. But whenever Beachbody launches something, launches are really where you grow your income, and people are excited for MBF. So even if you don't want to launch MBF right now, if you're not, I think all of you guys are doing it. People are coming to me with questions. Yeah, MBFA is coming out today. So the coaches have been able to do it. Customer launch happens next week. Like people are reaching out to me about it, which never happens. So this is what I have to sell. And what I appreciate about Beachbody is you can see when you look at the calendar, if you look at what I just laid out, we have launches coming in October, in December. There'll be one next spring because they always do. And that's the way of them growing our income because people get bored, people get stagnant, right? School picks up and everyone falls off their goal wagon and so, okay, perfect. We've got 30-day breakaway, and then the holidays pick up and everyone gets all stressed about, and now we have like 9-week control freak. And so you'll see these things start to build. And what I've noticed over the last 5 years, if you trust me on this, with income is that my income grows with launches. And so what you'll kind of see happen is you will see your income kind of go up, and then people will just kind of get set, and then it'll kind of flatten out a little bit. And then, oh, look at 30-day breakaway is launching up. And then it'll flatten, and you'll see this, I mean, an occasion it'll drop, but you'll see this trend start to come. So I always really focus on launching what is launching right now, because that is what I have to sell, and it hits a new market. And then I will retain those customers, right? I'll serve them well, I'll give them the tools, but we're focused on these launches. So with that in mind, with the summit information, I take all those announcements and I push them to the side, and I know they're coming, so they're there, but I focus on what I can control now. And then I take the information that was given at Summit in those keynote speakers. Kendra Hall talked a lot about storytelling. Ashley Molstad, I know that spoke to Amanda, that talked about selling. Like, I take the really cool speakers and I implement what they taught. And that is really where I take immediate action from, is kind of that like pump up inspiration, education. And I don't get bogged down with trying to learn all the details about 30-Day Breakaway in July, because that's coming. So what I do next is, after I kind of figure out like, okay, here's what I need to focus on. Here's what's coming now. Okay, I want to listen to those speakers. When I'm out walking the dog, I'll plug in my headphones and listen to, whatever I missed. I would do that. And then I would sit down sometime tonight or tomorrow or Wednesday, but soon, when you have capacity, and really mark out your goals. What are your goals from today to the end of July, right? Because we're just focusing on this month right now. What is your goal for Success Club? What is your goal for recruiting? And I want you to actually write down those numbers. And I want you to push yourself a little bit. So if your average is Success Club 6, maybe push yourself to say, I want 10 this month. If you're sitting at 10 already, why not try 15 or 20? Like, give yourself a realistic, reasonable push. But one thing I did wrong early on in my business is I would hit Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, and then I kind of take my foot off the gas and I'd sort of just kind of coast. And if I can keep my foot on the gas, and I don't mean working yourself to the ground or, ignoring your family, but just maintaining that momentum, it really starts to build, and it gets so much easier to lock in those numbers. And I would get so stressed out at the first of every month because I'd be sitting back at 0 again. And that would just mess with my head. And like, I hate seeing that 0. And so if I can keep that momentum all month, then that really helps me lock in Success Club 5 early, and I'm not stressed about it, right? And it's just there. So write your goals down. And then I really want you, I know this sounds floofy, but I want you to put a meaning behind it, guys, because we're not just about sales. There's nothing wrong with getting paid for what we do, but you are not just about a sale, and your people are not just a number, right? It's not just a Success Club point. This is a mom that you're helping wear her shorts at the park and chase your kids around, right? Like, this is a wife, like, this is, you fill in the blank, you know who you're helping. So get excited about the people that you're serving. And I want to challenge you to be bold about your action with that. And quite honestly, to be brutally frank with you, if you are saying you're a business building coach and you're not helping 3 people a month, like, you're not building a business. Like, I love you guys, and I don't care if you're not, like, that's your deal, but that's just the hard, cold truth. And so get crystal clear on what your goals are and why they matter to you. What would that income do for your family? What would hitting diamond and really pushing yourself to say, you know what, I saw coaches do that in 2 weeks. I can do that. Like, I'm going to do it. What would that do for your confidence? Like, make it personal. It can't be mine, And for me, Summit always really, and you guys didn't get to see it this year, which sucked so bad. But for me, I remember watching some of those coaches walk across stage and hearing their accolades and hearing what they did. And if you watched even the general session or the reward session when they were talking about like these coaches getting these awards and what they've done for their communities, it is powerful and it is inspiring. And it kind of lights this fire of like, I could do that. Like, I could do that too. Hey, Paisley, you gotta watch Goldie and Bear while Daddy and Bubba go, okay? And I'll be done in just a minute. It's Caleb's does trail life. It's kind of like Boy Scouts, and Paisley gets really sad that she can't go. She doesn't understand. Okay, so picture yourself, set that vision, goal cast, and then let's take it to action. So here's what I would do is I know my recruiting numbers I want, I have my Success Club numbers I want, I know what I need to do those. And so right now I'm like, okay, I'm focused on MBF. So what do I do? And I will share my screen with you guys. This is how fancy I am. I'm not fancy. I wrote down posts and stories. Okay, so if I'm talking MBF, I need to, if I were you and you haven't yet, I would make a Google form. If you are on our team, we actually have a Google form already done in that MBF folder that I shared with you guys. It's in there. You can make a copy of it and you can use it for yourself. But what that is that Google form. I just give it to people who are interested in learning more about the program. It's the link in my bio, like all the things. So I have the form where I can easily connect with people. And now I need to share results. Now for me, my post today was a little bit more on like just motivation. You saw it. But now let's move to Tuesday. Transformation. Okay, so I'm going to share my story. And I know if my focus is on filling my challenge group, if it's on really talking about the launch of MBF, and that's my goal through this week. Now, I will give this caveat. I'm talking about this if I was a new coach. I'm really going to be talking about coach recruiting this week too. So if you're like, Abby, you didn't do that because I'm having a little bit of a different focus, but I'm just sharing, like, here's where my head would be at. I'd share my story. So what do I mean by that? I mean, I will do a transformation post and I will talk about, I remember when I was standing in the kitchen and I literally ate an entire pint of ice cream after having my son. I was breastfeeding and I was so hungry and I was so overwhelmed. I didn't even know where to start. And I Google random Pinterest workouts and want to cry. And I remember when this girl reached out to me, she was in a mom's group with me and invited me to try this workout program. It was 30 minutes and I could do it right after I got home from working full time. I went back to work when he was 6 weeks old and we were totally broke. We had just bought a house and he was a surprise and he didn't have any money to buy new work clothes. And I had to fit back into them. And that was a huge goal of mine, not just for aesthetics, but because I needed to wear clothes to work. And I'd share, and I'm so grateful that she reached out to me because I was able to learn nutrition. I was able to fit in workouts and start feeling confident again and start having energy again. And I'm so excited to pay that gift forward to 5 more mamas this month. Click the link in my bio to learn more. You know, I'm sharing some more info in my stories. Check them out. Let me know. And I don't know if any of that resonated with you, but that's my story, right? So think about your story. How would you share that? And end it with a CTA, a call to action. Drop a heart below. Click the link in my bio, like however you want to say it. But connecting with people through your story. Don't just share the MBF transformation results, although those are incredible and you can share them in your stories. Share where you were before Beachbody and what have you learned. You know, maybe for you it isn't nutrition, maybe for you it's workouts or confidence or whatever, but like think about your story and how can you articulate that. If you are doing MBF right now and you have a week of results, share those. Like those are awesome. Alora, who is on our team, if you go to her Instagram or Facebook, she shared her 1 week results. They're amazing. You can go use those. I know she doesn't mind people sharing them. So think about how else you can talk about it, but share your story, okay? So that's tomorrow's post. Then Wednesday, you could do a post like maybe have your husband or do a self-timer of you sitting in front of your computer and have bod groups pulled up behind you or your challenge group. Kind of a cute photo and like share about, you know, in your stories from an outsider looking in perspective, what is this thing that you're talking about? Like in these groups, I love these groups because, you know, so many people struggle with the accountability piece when you're not at a gym. And I love it that I can do my workout on my own time around my crazy kids, or if it's been a long day at work, I can fit it in and don't have to rush going to a class or my gym is closed because of COVID. And I love that I had this community of gals cheering me on. It's a really great app. And explain what it is and talk about maybe your role as a coach in it. You can share more stories in your Instagram, like stories. On Thursday, you could share customer success stories in your actual Instagram stories. So you can do if there's growth in your challenge group. If you have like the MBF, there's some incredible results you can share talking about that. My post would be probably about coaching, keeping me accountable on my fitness journey. So it's a little bit of a coaching jab, but it's there and it's talking about why I love being a coach because I'm in the trenches with them. You know, I didn't have to be at my goal weight when I started it. My job is to show up and help people. So kind of highlighting, you know, here's Trish. She is a busy mom. Like I love watching her get her workout, and maybe tag each other in your Instagram stories and like put a little blurb about your story on there so that when someone shares, they can be like, oh, you know, Courtney's a mom of 2. And, you know, there's actually a lot of you guys are moms of 2s on here. So that kind of thing. And that's what I would do maybe on Thursday. On Friday, maybe you do a behind the scenes day in the life where you take people through and they're like, I don't want to do diets and I don't want to eat lettuce and cardboard every day. So you should take people on a day in the life through how you're fitting in workouts and fitness, and what are you eating every meal. And if you're doing 2B mindset, you're talking about your plate it method. If you're doing ultimate portion fix, you're dumping your containers out and showing them, like, it doesn't look like very much, and then when I dump it on my plate, like, look at all these, I love how it's taught me these things. Maybe you record your screen and scroll through some of the resources that we have in those programs, the incredible videos and tracking sheets, and you just share about, like, you get all of these things in our boot camp, and it's so cool because it makes it so simple. It's all spelled out for you. Like, I click on my TV, boom, there's my workout, and just walk people through, how are you fitting this in? And just that behind the scenes, day in the life. You can sneak in some coaching jobs in there too. Weekend tips on Saturday. I mean, there's so many ways that you can think about your posts, but we just outlined an entire week of posts for you guys and story ideas, right? So hopefully that's helpful. And then you can't just post, okay? People rarely just come running to me from a post. It's pretty rare that someone will just automatically click the link in my bio and fill out my form. I talk about it all the time, but that doesn't happen. They have to be invited. And go watch the video from Ashley Molstad again, because it was really good. But people want to know that you care about them specifically and that you're inviting them. If they're watching your stuff, if they're liking your posts, if they're creeping on you every day, they deserve an invite, okay? Because you're clear about what you do. And if you don't invite them, somebody else will. And the worst they can do, guys, is say no. And if they hate you for it, then you don't want to work with them anyways, okay? So I'm just going to kick that fear to the curb. Like, if they're going to be snarky and mean because I know all of you and none of you are awful people, so you're not going to send icky invites. If they want to hate you for that, then honestly, that was a good sign that they're out of your social media feed. But just be normal. And so you can do a voice or a video DM. Like, you can actually send, let me see if I have my phone. I don't know where my phone is. Otherwise, you could send them just our normal kind of invite, like, hey, saw you loving on my posts or watching my stories. I really appreciate that. It's hard to be vulnerable sometimes, and having amazing people like you always really helps. I saw you watching my stuff. Are you interested in learning more? I'm so excited for my next boot camp kicking off, Muscle Burns Fat. We're going to be doing it in August together. It's 3 weeks of upper body, lower body, core, and focusing on nutrition. Would you like to try the sample workout? Hold on. Paisley, just come here. I will help you. So that would be, you could just write that up. Do not write 5 paragraphs of an invite guide. Helping her. Let's just see. Hold on. There you go. You can just be like this. Okay. Sorry, real life here. You can also do a voice or a video message. And what I mean by that is, click your Instagram stories, like you're going to record a 15-second clip, and just record yourself. Like, hold your thing up and be like, hey, and I kind of sometimes keep it generic, like, oh my gosh, I really appreciate you. I saw you watching my post today. I hope this isn't weird, but I'm so excited. I just had to reach out and invite you because Muscle Burns Fat is amazing. And we're going to spend 3 weeks focusing on upper body, lower body, core, and nutrition in 30 minutes or under a day. My goal is to really help you hit your summer goals, even though COVID is happening. My goal is dialing in on my nutrition because I have the world's biggest sweet tooth and I can't wait to do it together. Do you want more info? Like, just like that. Like, and you can do the voice message too. Like, keep it excited and be genuine. And if you're excited about stuff, people get excited about it too. So you actually have to do the work of the invites, okay? Like, I know that's what everyone doesn't want to do, but you have to do it and you'll be fine. So then you're going to get them set up, and your challenge group is going to start. I would look at the calendar and I'd say, okay, the customer launch is the 27th. I'll do a prep week this week. And then my challenge group will start August 3rd for it, okay? That's kind of where my head is at. So that gives me this week to lock in Success Club points for July if I haven't done that yet, right? And I can also lock them in early in August. And I'm going to be sharing everyone's results and creating FOMO and talking about it in my stories this whole time. So now you guys have your posts. Now you guys have your timeline. I want you to take action on this and not sit in overwhelm. Overwhelm is a lack of clarity of what your next step is. And we tend to just freeze and be like, oh my gosh, there's so much info. Like, I don't know where to start. So here's your starting point. You have it outlined right here. You don't need to worry about the running program. You don't need to worry about learning all there is to learn about everything. You just start here with what we're launching right here and right now. Okay. So that's the next thing. Then you're going to get them added in to your challenge group. If you're running it with another coach, make sure you know what's going on there. If you are running it on your own, that's perfect. I would personally recommend using VOD groups because you get those extra points for Team Cup, even if you're only going to use them for tracking purposes. I know some of you guys love Facebook, so that's totally fine, but you can still have VOD groups for tracking purposes for your customers, so they have somewhere to log stuff. So I'd encourage you to use that. And then when they're going through the sign-up process, I do cart add-ins. And so this is a great way, again, to upsell, and I don't ever add anything in that I personally don't use. But what I mean by that is, let's say someone signs up with the Shakeology Challenge Pack for MBF. I will add in there the Weekender kit. It's under the Nutrition tab in the ShareCart site. It's $18, and they get 2 things of Recover, 2 flavors of Energize, 2 beach bars, and some Hydrate. And so I always say, like, hey, I added this to your cart. Feel free to totally take it out, but I know you're going to be sore with this workout. And this is a great way for you to try, like, my favorite Recover and the Energize you see me use every day in my stories without committing to a 30-day supply. Plus, it's really fun to have some extra snack bars on the go in the summertime or something like that. So I'll just throw that in there and people will order it. Or you could do the 3-day refresh. Add it to their cart. When you add it in to ShareCart, it gets discounted. And so I'll say again, like, hey, you'll see your cart went out. I'm so excited for you to jump in. I threw in 3-day refresh. I like to do this like 2 to 4 times a year. It really helps reset cravings. I lose all the sugar cravings whenever I do it. So if you want to do it the 3 days before we start MBF, you can kind of like clean out your system, really get on track, lose some bloat, and feel awesome going into our program. I'd love to do it with you if you wanted to, but if no worries, just take it out of your cart. So never feel bad about adding things in that you know will help people with their results, because you're not forcing them to buy anything. They can remove it. So don't feel bad about that. But that's sort of where I would go with the next things there. So with that all said, I know that was a lot of info. Courtney, it's the Weekender pack. So if you go to the Nutrition tab, it's there. And it's a really cute, I'll show you guys, I actually have it.
I got it, Abby. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
A little baggy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a fun one to order too, like for a giveaway in your challenge group or something. You can get, I would order it like under a spouse account, like I'd order it under Ben's account, get the PV there, get the coach discount, and then I can use it to like send a customer who's rocking it who maybe hasn't tried these things yet, and they'll get hooked on Energize too because it's the bomb. So those kinds of things really help, just those little bumps in your income as well.
Thank you.
Now with the customer launch, so if anyone wants to start MBF between now and Sunday night, they sign up as coaches. Starting on the 27th, all of the prices are the same. There's literally nothing that changes in the challenge packs. It's all the same. It just opens to customers as well. So they don't have to be a coach to sign up. Personally, if I were you and I were pushing for some rank goals, I would still sign people up as discount coaches. That is just me, but we can talk about that kind of situation dependent as well. So with all of that, I know that was a lot. Was that helpful to kind of line out though? Yeah. I would love to hear from you guys because I wanted to do a little bit of kind of vision setting and processing of stuff too. I don't know if anyone has anything they want to share about it. Tamika, I'm going to put you on the spot. I love that you're repping our team tank. Makes me so happy. I love that one. That was our summit tank from last year. We got the cutest pictures. And I had a whole photographer book for summit this year too, guys. I'm so sad. We're going to do it again next year. Do you want to share kind of what your takeaways were from summit last year? Because I felt like it really helped your business in some ways too.
I hate it when you put me on the spot, Abby.
I know. That's why I do it.
Then I feel like I'm like word vomiting, but oh God, it's been a crazy day. Let me just get my mind right here. Last year, I think it was really overwhelming, like just because there was so much, so it really took me a long time to process it all. Like it was so great of information, but I think just realizing that it's not about me and not about like what I'm trying to sell or what I'm trying to get from people or get out of people. And like, even though it's my business and I want to make the money and want to grow, like it's more about what I can do for the people that I am helping. And like when I am growing that way and getting those people, then you have more of a connection and like family that you're looking for type of thing anyways. So I think that was my biggest thing, is just like learning how to shift my mindset and realizing that it's way bigger than just me and what I'm trying to get out of it.
To shout you out too, Tanika, because well, first you're a nurse, and so she's been juggling in the middle of the whole pandemic in Oregon. I've watched her. I mean, she's phenomenal. But I had seen your commitment literally impact your husband, like transform your husband, and that is like gives me.
Honestly, having him doing it with me now too, like, cause like watching you has always helped me to be like, okay, like Abby's still here. I gotta like push up my game again, or like watching Ashley and Nicole and everyone too, cause like they were there with me last year. But having him like right here, like I'm even more competitive with him. So I'm like,
Yeah,
he's showing up. I gotta keep showing up. I gotta do all this stuff. So it's been really cool for us both.
yeah, I love that. Who else wants to share? Can someone else share like where they're at, their vision? While I help Paisley super quick so she doesn't kill herself in the bathroom. Sorry, I'll be back.
What's everybody pushing for as far as like goal wise? Because here's me 2 months in and I'm an emerald, so obviously I'm going for diamond. But share anything and everything if you've done something that's really helped you.
I'm sorry, guys. I had that. She was going for the nail clippers, and I don't trust her with nail clippers, but naked. Was someone saying what they're pushing for? Is that you, Courtney, to ask that? No.
Yeah, I just asked in general what the overall consensus was, but
I know Amanda's super close to diamond. Yeah. I'm gonna start calling you guys out. You can't just sit here and be quiet. I love you. I'm gonna be mean. And it doesn't have to be big, guys. I think sometimes it can be intimidating, and I hope I never intimidate anybody. But I know I don't understand you guys who are not. I always think Trish laughs when I say this. I never mean to call her out. Like, I'm super competitive, and I am very, like, if you know the Enneagram, I'm a 3, and I'm very motivated by winning. And I think that sounds super arrogant, and I never mean it. It's more like this personal quest to like see what I can do, like how capable I am. So it's never from a space of like, I'm just gonna be the best. But I'm very motivated by like elite and these things like that drives me, and it makes me actually show up and work my business. But I know that not everybody is motivated by that. And I think that's one of the things that is so important about vision casting and really making it personal to you, because maybe you're not motivated by elite, but you are motivated by, or you do have this vision of, you know, paying down student loan debt, or being able to take your family on that vacation, or, you know, these things that are important to you to achieve. Maybe you have a goal of helping people, like helping someone lose 100 pounds, or, you know, it can be anything. And I think that you have to be so clear. If you don't have a vision, if you don't have a roadmap, you don't know where you're going to go. And it's really easy to start drifting off course and not showing up, or just kind of being wishy-washy, and instead of laser focused and committed. And that's why you have to have a vision, because without that, you don't show up when it's inconvenient. And when you treat this business like a hobby, when life hits, when things go south, when stuff happens, hobbies are the very first thing to go, right? Because you don't have time for them. They're wasting your time. You have to focus on the most important things. And I'm not saying Beachbody is the most important thing in your life at all. But I will say that if you treat this like a business instead of a hobby, when life hits and you lean into it, you're like, I am going to show up when it's inconvenient, and I am going to see how I can serve through this and how my story can impact others, and you fill in the blank. That's when authenticity is built with your audience. That's when trust grows, because they see you going through stuff and you're so committed to the vision of where you're headed. They trust you enough to join you because they know you're not going anywhere, and they know, like, I want to join that train, because she is, whether it's on the fitness and nutrition side, whether it's on the business side, it builds that trust. And so the audience that you impact with your story, the vision that you have, is going to be very different than mine, and it should be. You know, if you're like, don't have visions of being a top 10 coach, I don't want you to push for that. And I don't want you to ever feel bad for not wanting that. But I do want you to run super hard after what it is that is being laid on your heart to pursue. Does that make sense? So that's why we talk about it a lot. because it doesn't have to be rank, but I do talk about rank, and we do talk about Success Club, and we do talk about elite and all these things, because they are benchmarks and mile markers on the way that for a lot of people are the path to get you to where you want to be. So maybe you could care less about being a top 10 coach, but you really, really, really want to pay down student debt, or you guys want to buy a house or something, then you know what I'm going to say? You have to get to 2-star, even if rank doesn't drive you, because that's going to grow your income enough where you're going to be making $50,000 plus a year. And that's going to allow you to accomplish these things on your vision board, because so these things kind of all sort of loop-de-loop coincide together, even though we call them, I think, different names for where we're at, if that makes sense. Does that help? Yeah. Tanika, you look like you're like, what, am I making you scared? Talk it out, girl. I'm going to unmute you. I'm going to make you talk.
Yeah, well, you know, like I was telling you about Diamond, always just like putting it out there, it makes me scared, because now I got to work harder and like show up more, but it also makes me excited because I know I'll be helping more people and having a bigger team.
Yeah.
It's just like seeing that, I'm like, ah.
Here's the thing though. It's, let's reverse engineer that. So for those of you guys who are saying Diamond, break it down, and you're like, what is Diamond? And 2 of those are emeralds. So if it's 8 people, first of all, that's, if I hit Success Club for 2 months in a row, doing the bare minimum, I'm over halfway there. That's 6 people right there, right? Like, boom. I'm 2 more. So if I'm hitting Success Club 8 in 2 months, I have my 8 people. And then it's just a matter of 2 emeralds. And so again, I don't want to say it's easy, but our minds believe what we tell us. If we say it's hard and I can't do it, then we're going to honestly act that way. If you're like, no, I got this, like, this is my goal, here's my date, then I'm like, okay, I hit Success Club 6 this month, and it's only the 15th or whatever. I'm going to sign up my next 2 people under Ben. He's emerald. Boom. Now I'm going to go talk to my awesome challenger who's crushing it. I'm going to say, girl, you need to be doing this with me. Like, who are your 2 friends who you want to help this month? Like, let's get them plugged in. And maybe they're not even a coach, like actively coaching someone, but you just help them become a coach without them knowing that they did. Like, or like, hey, you're going to get 2 promo codes or 3 promo codes when you sign up for VIP access to MBF. Let's talk about like, who are 3 friends that you want to invite to do this with you? I can totally help you get the commission for them. We'll get them plugged into our group. You will get better results when you do it together. And then you're going to help them get signed up as discount coaches under your awesome new coach. And she's emerald, again, without even realizing it. Like, I think we overcomplicate it. So if you can reverse engineer it and say, okay, if my goal is to be diamond by, let's say, September 1st, that'll give you a month and a half. Like September 1st, then you know they're going to go look in your downline and you're going to see, okay, I already have RJ, so he's 1, got that. Where are the other places that I need to fill in? And then I say, okay, I have 8 weeks to get 8 people. So what does that mean I need to do? That means I need to send out, a minimum of 20 invites a week. Okay, I got 20 invites a week. I probably should run a coaching sneak peek at some point, or invite to one that Abby's doing, so I'll do that. And if we start reverse engineering some of these things, it gets a little less scary. And I think sometimes it's the start that stops us, but when we kind of baby step it out, it's like, okay, I got that. Okay, I got that. And it doesn't have to be as scary. But I think personally, I always work better when I give myself a date, because that makes me more motivated, and I'll reward myself at the end of that date with things. Or and if I don't hit it, it's not like you failed. It's just like, okay, I'm further along than I was, so now we're going to adjust it, and we'll keep going. So I would give yourself a date, and then go see, okay, where are the holes that I need filled? And then let's reverse engineer that out by the number of weeks we have left. And then you have okay, here's exactly what my goals are for August. Boom. That helps. What else do you guys kind of want to chat through? We have a few minutes left. Is there anything else you guys need or want to share, or things that were super impactful from Summit Week that was helpful for you guys, or questions?
I don't know who talked, because I feel like I listened to this in segments with really bad reception. But I think it was whoever was the top, long, black, dark brown hair, that said your vision has to be big enough for others to basically fit inside of it and create their own vision. And then for me, I was like, Okay.
Oh,
It
was
has to
Holly
be
Hillier.
so broad. What's her
Yeah,
name?
Holly Hillier.
Holly.
Yeah, Holly, and it's Hillyer. She's a top coach, and she is a killer at recruiting like a boss and rank advancing people really fast because of exactly that. Like, she talks about her vision. Like, if you watch her stories, and I would encourage you guys, like, I try to not watch too many top coach stories because I feel like it gives me comparison anxiety and then I get overwhelmed. But I actually do like watching hers. And what's really interesting about her is if you watch them, I can tell you exactly what's in her story every day. Every single day, she is like vomiting out, I help moms build big businesses while their babies sleep. Like, that is what she talks about. That every post she makes, when she screenshots personal development, I mean, it is in there like ad nauseum. It's hilarious. But she does add value a lot. And she talks about her vision. And I'm like, you know what? If I would have found her before I found my coach, I would have totally signed up with her because that's me. And every single day. And so she talks about this. And then her coaches who want that sign up. And guess what? They build big businesses fast because she is so straightforward in her social media about her vision for her family and her team of where they're headed, that, you know, if you sign up on Holly's team, you are going to build a big business fast and you're going to hit diamond in a month because that's what you do when you're on it. Because she talks about it so much. So it's almost like this, like, she's like, you know, the whole, like, you'll build it, they'll come. Like, that's kind of her thing. And it's fascinating. But I loved that line that she said, Courtney. So keep going because I interrupted.
Oh, no, for me, it's like, as a teacher, I'm like objective, and then modification, remediate. Like, this is like what I'm doing, like with goals. And I'm like, I can't do that with this. I have to just like say this. I'm trying to not fine tune it. I'm trying to keep it to one sentence umbrella then it's that attraction, like you're saying. So it's my hashtag, like you said, it's the coach life. Like, it's a part of every single dialogue that I'm having. And it just, for me, it simplified it really well.
I love that. That's so good. What is your line that you're using?
Well, if I would say it right now, is that I want to serve women to have a God-centered life, but that isn't a title to coaching. Okay, you put me on the spot.
No, this is good. It's like, you don't have to be perfect, but just, I love kind of.
No, I got nervous. Hi, people. This is real Courtney. Okay, so I would say that I want to serve women to see the best version in themselves, like God sees them, and however that looks like for them. Because I have women that are moms, I have not moms, so I attract moms, but that's not who I'm only serving. So I'm trying to say that without not including anyone, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I love that. And then what you do with that, so like, here's how we take this, and so you guys who are thinking this through, is if that is your tagline, if that's kind of your theme in your heart, then not everything, obviously, if it's like your kid eating a fruit snack, it doesn't have to tie into that, but like everything you post. So when you're screenshotting something from your devotional or personal development thing that stood out to you, you're going to put a little blurb in there about, here is how, like, I love this because I'm like, by helping women see the value of who they are, like, boom, here's where it's speaking to me. And like, you're constantly just bringing it back to that message in every way possible in everything you do. When you're talking about your workout, you're going to talk about not just like, oh, you're going to lose weight, but you're going to talk about like, confidence is built when you show up on the hard days, when you do that extra rep, like that, you know, and you're going to talk through that over and over and over again. So it's getting this message woven in everything you do. And that's exactly how you start branding yourself with it. So I think that is really, really powerful. You guys' wheels spinning. Anything else? Alicia or Abby, I know I don't need to put you guys on the spot. But is there anything you guys wanted to share at all?
I was really, I got really pumped up about all the summit stuff, and I think the speakers were amazing. I mean, I was almost crying. Like, at one point I was doing the dishes, like watching it, and I was like, oh, don't cry. But I think it really hit me because this week has been kind of back and forth for me, or it's been kind of difficult. And I know my husband kind of had a point this week where he got really like stressed out because we've been trying to go through this whole house buying stuff, and it's been hard because I haven't been able to work as much with all the COVID stuff. So my part-time job that I typically do that covers like our car payment isn't doing that right now, and I've just been having a lot of like just mental stuff going on, so I've been trying to get myself back on track. And so for me, I think the biggest push is to not have to stress about trying to make a house payment, is the one big goal for me. Also, I mean, I had my daughter young, so I didn't get to finish my teaching degree. So that's something that's always been on the back burner that I really, really want to push to be able to have the funds to go back to school and get it. But I've just kind of been pushing that aside because I don't want to have any extra like weight on my husband's shoulders for like trying to pay a loan or anything like that. And so, but I have always been like very big into fitness and stuff like that, even when I was younger. And so being able to help people, I had a friend the other day that I grew up with, and she was talking with me about everything. And she brought up a story and she made me laugh. She's like, when we were in grade school and we had to do like a mile run for PE test or whatever, she's like, I wanted to walk the whole thing, but because you ran it, I ran it with you. Like, you were the reason why I did it. And so I was like, oh, it's like, even then, it's like those kind of things kind of really make you step back and say, okay, I want to be that reason that somebody wants to show up and be there. And I mean, no, as a mom, there's like so much, you're overwhelmed. We got everything going on, your kids and stuff, and it's so exhausting. But I'm so thankful to have the energy to be able to like continue to keep up with them and feel like excited every day to want to go and work out and not feel like you're dragging. But I think my biggest thing that I'm going to try and start pushing a lot is like diet wise. So I'm trying to gain more weight because I lose a lot when I nurse, and I've actually been able to keep like a steady weight now, which has been really nice. But my husband is the one that was trying to lose some weight, and he's a wildland firefighter, and so he's working out every day at work. But we would eat like semi-healthy for the most part, but he kind of struggled. Like, he didn't want to touch vegetables very much at all before any of that. It's tough to get him to eat a salad and stuff. But we switched back in January to doing more of like a plant-based diet. And he's gone from 252 to 206 now. And it's been incredible. And just like the diet alone, like nothing else was working. I mean, he was working out before, and just changing those simple things, doing things differently. I mean, we still eat meat like once a week, or I love chocolate, so I'm always trying to find ways. I love like the avocado brownies. I'm always trying to incorporate things like that. So I love the fact that it's not about like taking out everything that's sugary or bread or anything like that, just finding a different way to eat it. So I think people are really surprised. I have had so many people, and he's had a lot of people say like, wow, what are you doing like to get those kind of like results?
Abby, you should do a group. Like, what I would do is, if I were you, you don't have to do this, but what I would do is, because you get both 2B and UPF in and there's so many adjectives, so many acronyms, MPFA, I would really talk about that, and talk about, because you guys hit two things. You're trying to gain weight and muscle and like lose weight, like
right.
So if I were you, like in my stories every day, I would talk through, like, I don't know if you're using 2B or Ultimate Portion Fix, but either one, like talk through like, here's my bracket for me, or here's my thing for me, and like walk them through the food and how you're making it. Or just 1 minute, can you please, just a minute. Your husband, like, here's how, here's what he's taking for lunch, or here's what he ate. And then you can talk about like every day again. So you have to talk about stuff about 15 days in a row before people register. Be like, in our next boot camp, you're gonna get 30-minute workouts. But we're diving into nutrition, like, because this has been a game changer for us. And if that's what makes you super excited, like, that's what I would talk about. Like, we're gonna focus on it. You can choose one that's more like intuitive, or more that's one that's a little pull box, like which one do you like, and like really take people through that. And I would create content about that for sure. And then
Yeah,
I would do a post, exactly the story that you told about your friend telling you, like, share your story. Like, brag on yourself a little bit because you're super humble. You're super sweet. But you can brag on yourself and like be like from elementary school, I've always wanted to be someone who encourages people and motivates them in this way. And like, here's why I love what I do. And kind of, that's not arrogant. That's sharing your heart. So I would do that. And then I'd really talk about like nutrition in August. Like, this is what we're focusing on, and workouts because they're awesome. But here's what we're going to do. And I think that's super cool. Did you guys listen to Kim Carver's story about her daughter on the track team? Did you guys hear that? Like, be like Sarah. Oh, like the field. Okay, I don't want to take any more of your guys' time. Is there anything else you guys need, or if you want to chat more, just reach out to me individually and we can. Is there anything else that'd be helpful for you tonight? Hopefully this brought some clarity of what you guys should focus on. But just reach out to me, okay? And I really, like, my goal always this last week of the month is to really be here for you to help you lock in your goals. So if you're needing help with conversations or post ideas or anything, so that you can really get your Success Club, my goal is always to go Emerald again every month. Like, those things, please reach out to me. Like, don't ever feel like you can't. If I don't respond, it's because I can't. And I'll respond as soon as I can. So never feel bad about shooting me a message. That's what I'm here for. So is there anything else before I let you guys go? You good? Alicia, did you need anything? I know you can't show your face, but if not, feel free to unmute. Okay, cool. Thanks for taking time tonight, guys. If you need that outline, just shoot me a message and I'll copy it over to you. It was nothing fancy, but that would help. Let me know. Tanika, thanks for letting me put you on the spot. I love you. I do it because I care. Okay, bye, guys.